This is a video on how to replace the idle air control valve on a Mustang V6 3.8 liter, same as the 3.9 liter, also the same as a Ford 4.2 liter, and this video is going to be applying to the newer style 3.8 engine. It came out with this intake design in 1999, I believe. So if you have an older 3.8, it will be a little bit, the procedure is the same, but the location of the valve is a little bit different. But for the 99 to 04 3.8, 3.9, it's going to be exactly the same as this. The tools you're going to need are 8mm wrench, 10mm wrench or socket. If you use a socket, you need an extension, and that is it. So first step is going to be to remove the negative battery terminal, which is 8mm right here. I already loosened it off for the sake of the video, so go ahead and slide that off, no problem. And then we'll come to the IAC valve itself, which is this guy right here. So, you know, if you're having difficulty finding it, you can just look at your intake piece, you know, where your air filter is, your intake piece, right where it gets to the aluminum part of the intake where the throttle body is. It's right here, sort of on the passenger side towards the back of the engine. It's got a little clip here. You push in on this tab right here, and you can slide off that electrical connector. Get that out of the way. And then probably to make it easier, you can disconnect this. This thing just pulls off this vacuum hose. Get that out of the way. And then it's held in with 2 bolts. This is the easy one, 10mm, and then there's another one. How good the camera's gonna pick it up. Well, the other one is, it's basically on the other side, right there at the bottom where I'm pointing. So they're both 10mm, and I already pre-loosened them for the sake of the video, so I'll remove them the rest of the way by hand. I'll leave that top one in a little bit while I loosen the bottom one. I should say, while I'm doing this, there's a gasket under there, a paper gasket, so be careful not to mess the gasket up. I've had this valve off a few times trying to clean it, which isn't doing anything. So, and I've managed to save the gasket all those times, so I should be able to take it off no problem. So I'm just loosening that off now. The reason I'm doing this job is because my car, it runs good and idles good, but the problem I'm having is it's manual, and when I'm going along the second, third gear, I push in the clutch and the revs will hang up for a second or two, or even increase. So I'll push the clutch in to change gear, and it'll increase revs by like 500 RPM and then drop back down, which is super annoying when trying to change gear and makes it really difficult. So that sucks. And I checked for vacuum leaks. I cleaned the IAC valve. I put a new TPS on it, throttle position sensor. None of that did anything. It doesn't have any codes, no IAC code or anything like that, but I guess these go bad, and you know, they won't throw a code. So that's one of the bolts. Now I'll go ahead and hold it while you remove this other one, because it'll just fall. Alright, I'll go ahead and set the camera down for a sec, so I can hold the bolt and the IAC valve at the same time. Okay, I got the bolt out. Now I'm going to remove the valve. Like I said, be careful you don't tear the gasket. And there we go. That's the valve removed. Now, this gasket is messed up. It's been messed up, but I've been running the car like that. It's actually because it's just broken. It's just broken here at this point, which is actually all right as long as it's not tore where the air goes, which is, you know, between here and here in these two, you know, trapezoid pieces. Then it's fine. So even though it's a little bit broke, I can still use it, no problem. So that's alright. You can't get this valve in the store. You can buy it online like on Rock Auto, but you cannot get this one in the store. I tried getting it at Advanced Auto Parts and O'Reilly's and they didn't have it. So here's my old valve. You know, if you want to go ahead and clean it, you can blow a carb cleaner or throttle body cleaner. Come on, focus, crap, piece of shit camera. Down in here, which I tried doing, but it didn't do nothing. It was pretty carboned up, it didn't do nothing. And this car is it's an 01 and it's got about 170,000 miles on it, so I'm thinking it's no good. So now I'm gonna grab my my new IAC valve and show you how to put that in. Here's the new IAC valve. I bought this on eBay. It was about $27 is the cheapest one. The way I get my car parts the cheapest is, and people are going to say, oh, they're junk quality, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, they're junk quality. You can return and then get your money back for free, so it's no big deal. But what I do is I go on Rock Auto, I find the Motorcraft part number, and then I search the Motorcraft part number on eBay, and I say, sort by price, lowest first, and just buy the cheapest one. So, you know, I'm going to get all these thumbs down for that, but I've had good luck doing that, so. This is the new one. Make sure it's exactly the same as the old one. I already checked and it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is the part that you need two hands for, kind of a little bit tricky. You gotta hold the gasket in place, make sure the gasket doesn't slip and get tore up, and put the IAC back in place. And the gasket, you know, can go two ways. It goes this way with the pointy piece going that way. And it's easiest if you put the bolts through already. That way it'll hold the gasket, and then you can sort of put it into place, get the bolt started, and then do them up with the wrench. So this is going to take two hands, but I'm going to go ahead and put her back into place, tighten up the bolts. The IAC bolted back in. There it is. It's only going into soft aluminum, so you don't go super tight on it. You know, just snug, not too tight. You know, like I said, the one bolt here and the other bolt here. I found that just my regular, you don't need an extension or anything, my regular 3/8 ratchet with that 10 mil 3/8 drive socket works fine. Gives you just enough clearance. If you go any longer, you hit the firewall and the heater hoses. You go any shorter and you hit the valve itself. You could do it with a 10 mil wrench too. So it's back in place. So what I'm going to do is reconnect this connector here, which just slides on until it clicks. And give it a little tug, make sure it's clicked into place. Then there's this vacuum hose. Pushes on right there. And yeah, so that's the valve back in place. Only thing left to do now, put my negative battery terminal back on there. I'll go ahead and tighten that up with my 8 mil wrench. And that is done. Pretty easy job on this car. Yeah, so that is how you change your IAC valve on a V6 Ford Mustang. Thanks for watching.